We knew Hillary created the dossier, and now we have proof that Barack was calling the shots and the documents to prove it.
Declassified documents revealing former CIA Director John Brennan briefed then-President Obama on Hillary Clinton's purported plan to smear then-candidate Trump in 2016, adding to what the National Intelligence Director has already declassified on this issue, and raising more questions tonight about how much more of this will come out before Election Day. Good evening, Mike.
Brett, good evening. These are handwritten notes from former CIA Director John Brennan, written according to a source familiar after Brennan briefed President Obama. At one point, Brennan writes, quote, approved by Hillary Clinton, a proposal from one of her foreign policy advisors to vilify Donald Trump by stirring up a scandal claiming interference by the Russian security service. The notes say on 28 of July, in the margin, Brennan writes POTUS, but that section of the notes are redacted. Then it says any evidence of collaboration between Trump campaign and Russia. The remainder of the notes are redacted, except in the margins where it says JC, Dennis, and Susan. That could be referring to former FBI Director James Comey, former Obama Chief of Staff Dennis McDonough, and former National Security Advisor Susan Rice. The CIA sent a memo to former FBI Director James Comey and Peter Strzok writing, quote, the following information is provided for the exclusive use of your Bureau for background investigative action or lead purposes as appropriate. One example the CIA includes, quote, an exchange redacted discussing U.S. presidential candidate Hillary Clinton's approval of a plan concerning U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections as a means of distracting the public from her use of a private email server. At a hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee last week, Comey was pressed on what he did with information provided by the CIA.
Did you open an investigation?
I don't know what that refers to. As I said earlier, that does not ring any bells with me when I read that.
You did not receive any investigative referral of this nature?
I don't remember it. I don't remember receiving anything that's described in that letter.
We knew Hillary created the dossier, and now we have proof that Barack was calling the shots and the documents to prove it.
It should shake every single American in their shoes. I hate to say this, but President Barack Obama, there is now incontrovertible evidence that he was the spearhead of a seditious conspiracy to subvert the will of the American people and overthrow the United States government back in 2016. We must, absolutely must, hold every one of these criminals accountable for the crimes that they committed. They are the most heinous crimes committed in American history. James Comey, John Brennan, Clapper, Rice, Biden was in the meeting in July 28th in the Oval Office. They briefed Barack Obama on Hillary Clinton's plan to, quote, tie Trump to Russia collusion lies. It consumed our national discourse for 5 years. It undermined a sitting duly elected president. It sabotaged administration. It framed a three-star general. It destroyed and ripped this country apart. We had a constitutional crisis, the likes of which I don't think any American can fully comprehend. It is atrocious, and every single one of them must be held accountable.
On the Fringe with Dan, RadioStyle. I hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. And yes, we need some people to actually be thrown in jail, don't we? A lot of us, I think, are tired of hearing about all of this nonsense. This is affecting the way the vote's going to work out. A lot of people are very, very panicked right now because they're looking at what's happening and what's going to happen in the very near future, and they're comparing it to their past experiences. And unfortunately, this is new territory. This is not going to resemble the past because we're breaking what has already been happening forever, right? Virginia is a great example. What they did in the election with the votes, they saw, the votes were pretty 50-50 most of the day, and then all of a sudden, it was more people were, I guess, going to vote against the referendum, right? They were going to keep it the way it was, which was balanced, and a roughly 50-50 balance of between Democrat and Republicans. And then they pushed in just a bunch of votes right at the end of the day. And there they did. They just barely took it. Now, of course, the judge has already kicked that to the curb. But this just demonstrates what the left will do. The left is a fair way to say it. I think there's a lot of people that are Democrats that have always been and maybe don't feel comfortable about not being that. But we will see things change. We are seeing their prime candidates suck. and are getting hammered. And I honestly think Gavin's probably got the best chance. I think Ocasio-Cortez just too stupid, and Kamala's obviously too stupid. They might be some other, interesting person. That Stephen Smith guy, maybe, he could pop in. There's a couple people that might play, but I just don't think they have anyone strong enough. And for the presidential election, it's a ways off, but still, nonetheless, what we've got coming up here are midterms, obviously. So a lot's going to happen. We'll see how it plays out. These elections that come up and the way they're going to try to steal them, and the way that this plays out is going to be interesting. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, there's many of us that are under the assumption we're going to fix this election, but because if we don't, they'll take back the House, and they will literally spend the next 2 years impeaching Trump over and over and over and over. And that'll be it. That'll be the end of it. Nothing will pass. So something's kind of got to happen. We'll see. House Committee on Administration has formally requested that Act Blue CEO Regina Wallace-Jones testify on May 9th. So far, everybody that they've brought in took the fifth. Nobody's actually admitting to anything. Again, these investigations that Congress does to me, seem stupid, seem pointless. I don't know. I mean, I guess they've sent some of it off to the Department of Justice for further criminal investigation, so maybe things like that can come from it, but they seem woefully prepared to deal with it. I mean, you just bring people in and have them just say, I take the fifth, or I don't remember. It's not very helpful. Donald Trump Truth. The Southern Poverty Law Center, one of the greatest political scams in American history, has been charged with fraud. This is another Democrat hoax, along with Act Blue and many others. If it is true, the 2020 presidential election should be permanently wiped from the books and be of no further force or effect. Thank you for your attention to this matter. That would remove everything that was done by Otto Penn, and even what he did just himself even. That would also get rid of Kentanji Jackson Brown, a.k.a. Jumanji. That'd be interesting. Since Roberts is responsible for all 11 FISA court judges who allowed illegal spying on Trump, isn't that interesting? Yeah, I'd love to see Roberts step down. He's the one I'd like to see retire. Let our good friend Thomas take over for a little while. We'll see. That'd be fantastic. 37 Senate Democrats, that's funny. Senate Democrats urge USPS to refuse Trump's vote by mail executive order, which means they're only allowed to send these ballots to people that are on the legal list to receive ballots. And they're like, no, you should not do that. So 37 Senate Democrats are pushing for this. Again, they're freaking out. If they can't get their illegal votes, if they can't utilize the illegal records, the illegal registrations, voter registrations, if they can't utilize those, they know they're screwed. They know there's no chance that they could pass an election. I honestly think at best a third of the people in this country really truly support this stuff. GOP senators ratcheted up pressure on Speaker Johnson to quickly end the DHS shutdown. We'll see. They need to get this passed, obviously. It did go through the Senate, and I was questioning whether or not it needed to go to the House. So, yeah, obviously it does. I think there's like a small period, a small window where they have to, everyone has to have time to read it. So it's 36 hours or 72 hours. I think it's 36 hours. But anyway, it's a small period of time. Then they can actually bring it up for vote. Here's Mike Lee, Senator Lee, talking about it. And he is, he's not happy with this process. He's getting into what the filibuster is supposed to be versus what it actually has become. And he thinks this is at least hey, either get rid of it or use it properly, which I like what he's talking about. Check it out.
Senate Democrats are using unprecedented obstruction and the use of the zombie filibuster in order to get their priorities. It's working well for them. They got all the departments and agencies in the federal government funded that they like, but then somehow they refuse utterly to cooperate on any spending bill that would fund the Department of Homeland Security. So we're having to reinvent the wheel, go through a very elaborate process just to fund this one department whose success is material, indispensable to our national security and to President Trump's agenda. We're having to go through this process that actually takes weeks to complete just so we can pass it with a simple majority of votes. Here is the problem. All this is a symptom of our refusal to enforce the talking filibuster. If we were to enforce the talking filibuster, we could exhaust them and get to the point where they either provide us with the 60 votes we need, or they get lazy, they get sloppy, they exhaust themselves, and eventually we would find a way to get it passed. If we're willing to do that, great. It's probably the way we ought to do it. It protects debate to use the talking filibuster. But if we're not willing to use the talking filibuster, it's time to nuke it. Why? Look, this zombie filibuster thing that we're using, which is sort of the opposite of what the filibuster is supposed to do and supposed to be, not only is there obstruction with it, unprecedented of late, and causing all sorts of problems, but it's inuring disproportionately to the benefit of the Democrats. Not something we want to be doing in these rare enough and fleeting moments when we've got Republican control of the Senate, of the House, and of the White House. So let's either enforce the talking filibuster or nuke the zombie filibuster. You can't have it both ways. Let's get this done. We will continue running around this like just on a hamster wheel until we fix the problem. I don't really care that much which. I'd rather enforce the talking filibuster, but if we're not willing to do the hard work of that, for the love of Pete, let's nuke it.
And we have to do something. Again, Senate's worthless. Worthless. Period. He's a keeper maybe. I like Kennedy. I think we should hang on to him, right? We got, I guess Ted Cruz got the okay from Trump. I guess Lindsey Graham got the okay from Trump. Oh, I can't stand Lindsey Graham, but whatever. There's a few of them, right? Ron Johnson maybe, but I don't know. This was hilarious. Someone sent this to me, and I kind of needed this today, just with the David Wilcock stuff. Not that I cried or anything stupid like that, but it's just it's something that I've been very directly involved with, stuff that he was involved with. So just being a little in that realm, it just kind of hit home in a fun way, and it just reminds, I think, a lot of us of the difficulty of the path we're on, some of us especially. So again, just a huge call out. And this just made me laugh. This made me laugh really good. And I needed that, and I wanted to share this with you. This was someone that shared this with me on X, by the way. It's probably the best place to try to get in touch with me, if any of you ever want to. At OTF with DRS, at OTF with DRS on Twitter. Or X, I'm sorry, whatever. That's funny. Anyways, here is something that was shared with me, and I thought was hilarious. Check it out.
I'd like to leave you with a short story about a young Marine named Ricky. It seems that after fighting in Sangan for 4 months, Ricky received a Dear John letter from his girlfriend back home. It read as follows: Dear Ricky, I can no longer continue our relationship. The distance between us is too great. I must admit that I have cheated on you twice since you've been gone, and it's not fair to either of us. I'm sorry. Please return the picture of me that I sent you. Regrets, Becky. He asked his fellow Marines for any snapshots that they could spare of their girlfriends, sisters, ex-girlfriends, or cousins. In addition to his picture of his now ex-girlfriend, Ricky included all the other pictures of the pretty girls he had collected from his buddies. There were 57 photos in the envelope that he sent back to Becky, along with this short note. Dear Becky, I'm sorry, but I can't quite remember who the hell you are. Please take your picture from the pile and send the rest back to me.
That is so damn funny. I'm sorry. That is hilarious. So thank you for sharing that with me. It's a strange name like Bevo or something strange like that. Anyway, it was very, very funny. Anyway, 12 attorney generals petitioned the court to defend Trump's executive order on citizenship verifications in elections. So seems we got 12 states helping out. We got, 26 senators being doucheholes. So, meh. Some good, some bad. Mark Wayne Mullen is pretty pissed off at Chuck Schumer for these horrible comments. In fact, Trump's even asked Chuck Schumer to step down or apologize or something to that effect. Well, both probably.
Adding $140 billion to an agency that nobody, to two groups, Border Patrol and ICE, that nobody respects in this country.
Mr. Secretary, your response?
Well, it makes my ears red.
It takes a lot to get me upset. But Chuck Schumer, no one respects you. The definition of a lying scumbag politician, that is you. You would be the definition if you Googled you right now. I mean, why don't you just come out and be honest with American people? He wants to have open borders. If you want to defund the Customs and Border Protection Agency, if you want to defund ICE, who is in there arresting the criminals that the laws were passed by you, you had time to change those during the Biden administration. You didn't, because you're for open borders and you're for the criminals running amok in our cities. And for you to say that is so disrespectful to the law enforcement that is out there protecting you, because he has a detail with him. How about he walks around these city streets without a detail? I wonder how safe he.
What I love is that they hated Kristi Noem, whatever. Yeah, they hated her, so they wanted us to get rid of her. And that was a deal I think Trump kind of made with them secretly behind the scenes, which was supposed to, I think, get the government opened back up, and they lied. So Trump, again, it's like dealing Iran. It's kind of funny. Like our Democrats are literally like Iran. It's really how you know Iran is the deep state, because they act exactly like the Democrats. Exactly. And I don't mean common Democrats. I just mean the Democrat Party, the leadership, the people in high power. Every one of them, I think 100% of them, are absolutely communist. Absolutely communist. And really, communism is kind of what we've been fighting forever, right? Isn't that always been a thing? Oddly, Russia had a hard time pushing them out. A lot of people forget about the Bolshevik Revolution. I'm not a huge history fan, but I do understand it was stupid number of people died. Russia has been fighting this fight for a very long time. And that is why they've been made the enemy, because the deep state hates them. So, Mark Wayne Mullen, good on you, brother. I like the fact that you're like a bigger dick than Kristi Mullen. I think that's probably even what Trump wanted. He's like, I need a bigger dick. Kristi, you're too nice. You're pretty and you're nice. And she's like, I'm not an ass. I can't be like that. And Trump's like, I know. It's cool. It's not your fault. You're okay. Mark, you're an MMA fighter. You can be a dick, can't you? Hoo-yah or hoo-ah. Hell yeah. Hoorah. Whatever he would have said. I don't know. One of them things. I think he was a Marine also. So I think it's a hoo-ah, isn't it? Anyway. Rep. RPG launcher tubes, which, not having the RPG, not having the grenades themselves. I don't know. Are the tubes that, like, I feel like you could friggin' 3D print one of those. I mean, you got to be able to handle the pressure, but still. Anyway, whatever the case is, they had rifles too. But these were attempting to go from United States into Mexico, and they got stopped. Lady was driving. It's odd. She was driving, and they were in the back of her Lexus. They very specifically point out she was driving a Lexus. Not sure why, but they found a hollow out or a fake concealed area. One thing I'm going to say right now to any of you guys, if you haven't figured it out yet, because there's already been 2 stories, and I guess they're going public with this, so they're letting everybody know. You cannot hide anything in any of the panels, anywhere in your car gets completely scanned. From below, from above, from the sides, it completely gets scanned. It's probably not good for you either, by the way, as a human, but I'm sure it sees anything that's on you. There's no way you bring anything in. That's one of the things I've thought about numerous times. I'm like, I don't know if it's like this in other states, because I haven't traveled in other states in a long time, but like, I have driven to Nevada and Arizona, and they've just got those little scanny things over the road, and probably for truckers, probably what they do, right? But they're looking at everything. And I was thinking about, I'm like, because it was really hard to get ammo here, and I wanted to go across. That's illegal to do, which I didn't do. I didn't do it. I wanted to, but I was actually so paranoid I'd get caught, especially me, being me. So I didn't. I chose not to, fortunately, and I found actually a really good way to get ammo legally and here, and they did the background checks and everything. Anyway, they had lots of bullets. Like, I got a case of bullets, no problem. I'm like, I should have asked for more. And then I picked it up, and I was like, oh, that's why we'll just do one at a time. CBP, they arrested this 41-year-old Lexus driver. She had AK-47s, AK pistols, blah, 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 blah. Big arrest happened here in California, Orange County, my neck of the woods. And they, I actually figured it would be more from Santa Ana, but it was less Santa Ana. It was like Elsinore, Anaheim, some other places. But yeah, not as many from Santa Ana as I thought would happen. One of the dudes, and he's one of the big guys, his name's Luis Cardenas. I assume, I don't know if there's supposed to be a tilde in there. Cardenas, maybe it's Cardenas, whatever. He's gangster. He's also got a couple other nicknames. I think they call him Tío, which is, I think, uncle in Spanish. And so, yeah, G, Pop, Steel. He ruled the streets from jail. From jail. He'd get burner phones given to him. He'd use encrypted messaging services and would organize crime. This particular mafia, this Mexican mafia, they say there's only like 200 of them. And people are like, well, how are they so powerful? That's the thing. Each one has a large area that they manage, and they manage it. This is the upper levels of the criminal syndicate, where it goes from criminal kingpin to government members that are pretty high up the food chain. That's where we're getting. This is hugely significant. It's not just, hey, we took someone off the street. This is someone major. He's one of 200 that covers either the country, because supposedly one person, him, handled all of Orange County. Orange County runs from friggin' San Clemente all the way up to Seal Beach. It's a pretty big county. And there's a butt ton of us. There's, I don't know, 4+ million of us, 4.5, 5, I don't even know. Like back in 2000, it was about 3.5 million. I don't even know what the hell it is anymore. Be fun to look up. Yeah, okay. It's gone down a little bit, maybe. But 3.1 million, which is more than many states out there, by the way. But yeah, just so there's a lot of people that this one dude was managing. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive indeed. So needless to say, they got him and a number of others. Jaime Alvarado, a.k.a. Junior, or Brian Barbas of Lake Elsinore. Another Lake Elsinore, Karina Cesena. Mario Flores, he's Happy from Anaheim. It's just some very interesting names. Again, a couple from Lake Elsinore. It's very interesting. That's where my housekeeper moved to. I'm just like, ew, God. I didn't want to say anything mean because they bought a house, and I'm good on you. I'm proud of you. And maybe down there it's like very old school Mexico, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, they got some bad people. All of them in Orange County, which is fantastic. Feels safer already. Violent tornado slams Vance Air Force Base. Really messed it up, actually. We've got some of the footage, which is kind of crazy. This is from a plane. First off, this is just impressive because I don't think people understand how many lightning strikes there are in a given day. It'd be fun to look that up, too. Maybe I'll do that while this is playing. But check it out. All right, so I'm just cheating here at the same time. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably have to edit that. But so lightning strikes per year, 8.6 million roughly. That's 23,561 per day, which is a lot. Let's divide that by 24 to get hours. 981 strikes per hour worldwide, right? There's 60 minutes per hour, right? Let's divide this by 60. 16 strikes per minute across the planet. 16 strikes per minute. So that is just gnarly when you got like a storm like that, by the way. So, but needless to say, this I love the numbers. I always love numbers. I always have, always will. But yeah, there's an actual tornado. Crazy.
Holy fuck! My wife's in the storm shelter in Fairmont. Jason, what the fuck?
Over here.
Oh, shit.
These things do insane damage. And I've been close to where one kind of went through, but I've never been, thank God, in one. But I've lived in horrible thunderstorm type places, and it is I miss the storms to a degree. I don't miss the extreme severe ones, but yeah, when you get close and the hail starts happening, you're like, ah, shit, here it comes, right? Like, you can be very, very close to some crazy weather. And when it's daytime like this, thank God, because you can kind of see it. This shit happens in the middle of the night, pitch black, giant ass dark black wall of wind could be coming right at your house, and you won't see it. You won't see it. It is frightening, and I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir for many, many, many people out there. But yeah, just horrible wreckage of damage. Oops. Eventually. Yeah, we saw that from the other video. So exact same footage for that matter. So, yeah, pretty messed up. Prayers out to all the people that are out there. Oh, yeah, we're supposed to talk about this right now. I've got, I talked to him. So it is one free month of stuff. Anybody that signs up, we got till the minimum of Sunday, right? Sunday, 12 o'clock p.m., or essentially end of day Sunday, right? End of day Sunday, right? At midnight, basically. It is over. So everybody that gets grabbed in that's going to be in the drawing. They're going to get a chance for a free 1 month of product. So please go to otfspecial.com, otfspecial.com. This, of course, is that feel great product, and it literally does. I drank mine this morning. I love it. Like, I don't feel, it's not that I don't feel right. I love how I feel when I drink it. Like, I drink it. It just, what it starts to do to my body, how I actually feel, it helps for what I do for a living. It definitely gives me a lot more energy, and it helps me I don't like eating all the time. It's just a weird thing, because then if I do, it kind of messes me up for the rest of the day. I can get heartburn sometimes. I'm just weird. I'm very weird. And this is helping me personally. Now, a lot of people that are overweight, this is like night and day difference in what it's doing for them. I'm going to play, let's play the one. I haven't played this one in a long time. YouTube hates it, but it's okay. I'm not monetized anyway. But let's try this one. There we go. And there, on the Fringe. I love this. And again, we've got testimonials. Eddie just gave us a new one too, by the way. I don't know if I've shared this with you guys, but Kaysen's my guy. Wanted to wait till I used your product for a month before sharing results so far. Starting weight, 256 pounds. Weight today, 240. No cravings and eating less. Easier to fast, not eating after 8 p.m., and most days not eating again till 1 p.m. On a few occasions, it will be 3 or 4 before I realize I haven't eaten yet. I do seem to be sleeping better. I'll check back when I finish the second month. This is just recently, April 17th. You can see the date. This is my people. And thank you for sharing this with me, Eddie. I'm proud of you. It's fantastic. Even recently, Thomas, he gave us an updated. Still going great. I'm down 35 pounds and my blood pressure has dropped. I'm still waiting a doctor's appointment to see where my cholesterol levels are at. And that's when the statins start to go away. And you'll see those numbers come down without doing anything different. You'll actually start to eat slightly differently. You'll just naturally gravitate towards health, but you don't have to. You'll want to. You'll do it. You'll start walking and exercising because you feel better. You've got energy. It's amazing. It will change your life. This product's incredible. Check it out.
If you're constantly battling low energy, cravings, weight control, watching your health slip away, listen up. There's a simple daily protocol they don't want you to know about that's helping people ditch their meds and reclaim their health. Up to 88% of Americans potentially suffer from some degree of insulin resistance. The Feel Great protocol is a simple 2-step daily system designed to help your body work with you, not against you. Step 1. Unimate, a powerful yerba mate extract clinically shown to boost mood, increase mental clarity, and support fat burning. Step 2. A patented fiber matrix called Balance. Taken before meals, it helps regulate blood sugar, curb cravings, and support healthy insulin response. That's it. No crazy diets, no meds, just science-backed support your body actually understands. Feel Great is perfect for you if you have low energy, weight control, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, poor sleep, diabetes, snacking, sugar cravings, gut health, systemic inflammation. This isn't a trend, it's a transformation. Start today to reclaim your health with the Feel Great protocol.
It'll change your life, literally. Stuff's awesome. Go to otfspecial.com, otfspecial.com. Every new customer that comes in until Sunday at midnight, basically, Sunday midnight Eastern time, you're going to be put in for a drawing to get a month free supply. So that's 3 boxes. It's 2 boxes of the Unimate, 1 box of the Balance for free. And they'll handle it on their end, on the back end. I don't necessarily know about it. I don't draw. I have nothing to do with it other than I think this is awesome, and it's you guys that are getting this benefit. So this is a great time. If you haven't gotten in already, this is a perfect time to get in. And if you have already and you feel like you're missing out, don't worry. We're going to be doing some giveaways here at some point. I was hoping to maybe wait till the oil prices come down a little, fuel prices come down a little, because right now it's very expensive here in California. So shipping is not necessarily, just becomes cost prohibitive. Let's put it that way. I'd like to, save a couple bucks if I can. Good Lord. All said, otfspecial.com, otfspecial.com. Got a lot of great products and a lot of people that are feeling fantabulous. And that's all happening, of course. So, yes, check that out, please. All right, we got more to talk about, peoples. Let's do this. DOJ, they're dropping criminal investigation against Fed Chair Powell. This is a move that a lot of people are going to, I think, criticize, and I think it's funny because I don't think they understand the big picture. First off, Powell was going to stick around, and his argument probably was, well, look, if I've got to speak for all this, then I need to stay on board until it's all handled and dealt with. And so they're like, all right, let's go ahead and call his bluff on this. Okay, we'll drop it. That means you're out in whenever, soon, I think a month or 2 or 3. And he's out, he's gone. And then, when the new head of the Fed comes in, he'll let us know what happened. So we're going to get what we want. That's what we wanted. We wanted to look into what happened. And with the new head of the Fed, I think it sounds fun, we can deal with it appropriately. And either A, maybe the Fed gives us that money back and that comes out of their balance sheet. We'll see. It'd be interesting if we had a Fed that was fair. Maybe, but, I mean, I don't expect that's how it's going to go. Who knows? We'll see. John Cornyn's team. John Cornyn. I hope in Texas you guys know that we probably should choose Paxton over Cornyn. If you haven't, I think we already did. I feel like this is odd. I thought the election already happened, but maybe it's runoff. I don't know, whatever. Still going. All said, Senator Cornyn's team, they had a YouTube video where they were talking about, in Spanish, of course, giving amnesty to illegals. And so that's what Cornyn represents, just so you guys know. He is an absolute uniparty person, if you had any questions. I mean, Trump's already come out and given Paxton the thumbs up, I believe, too, right? Man, there's too many things. There's too many people. I wish all you guys would own your areas, but I know that's easier said than done. Rep. Anna Paulina Luna, who is quickly becoming a Marjorie Taylor Greene in my mind. Very, very, very quickly. She is so quickly. It bums me out. She said, maybe not a popular take, but I'm calling for this guy to be pardoned. She's talking about the dude that was betting. He had inside knowledge of the Maduro raid, so he bet on Poly Market and made some money. And he's in trouble for doing it. And she says that this dude should get pardoned unless the DOJ plans on going after all the crooks in Congress currently insider trading. This is simply skewed justice. And that begs the larger question, I guess, and this is why I'm a little miffed at Luna again, is, so does that mean that any crime currently being committed by members of Congress, both Senate and House, if they're currently committing crimes, then we shouldn't bust people for those same crimes in the normal population too, right? Is that what you're saying? Rather than the other way around? Like, that dude should totally be busted for doing insider trading, and we should also bust insider trading on Congress, but you went the other direction on it. So we shouldn't bust people for committing crimes that Congress commits. I mean, I'm all for Congress sucking balls. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to fire every single one of you, yourself included. But that would cause a bit of a constitutional crisis, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? For any of you guys out there that want that, for that matter. That would cause a huge problem. We would be very weakened as a nation for a significant period of time. So that kind of isn't the best way to handle this. Can't be. There's better ways. People dropping out onesie-twosies, getting replaced that way, that's a great way. Because there's, 100 that are really bad? Some of them are going to just be shamed out of office. Some of them will straight up lose their elections. Some of them have already lost their primaries. So the attrition's going to happen that way more. And how do I know? Because that's what's been happening. So what Crazy here is saying is, I don't think it is necessarily, I just don't think she's making a lot of sense. And I think it does indicate a little bit about her as an individual and how much she understands the complexity of issues that she's facing. And she's gorgeous, so it really bothers me, but she's probably really not. I don't know. She concerns me as to how nice she might be. And Mace scares me. I'd hate to be anywhere near that woman. She accuse me of something. Shit. Sneeze anywhere near her. She'd be like, "You're trying to rape me. I just sneezed. That's all." Good God. Ken Griffin, he's really pissed off at New York right now. Really pissed off at New York. So Mom Donnie went out and specifically called him out on his extraordinarily expensive, what do you call it? Apartment, I guess? Penthouse, whatever. That's an easier way to say it. I think they call them apartments out there, but you buy them. It's like, here, that's weird. Apartments you rent, condos you buy. Same damn thing, basically. I don't know, there you buy apartments. Ugh, weird. $238 million penthouse apartment. And Mom Donnie, because he doesn't live there all the time, Mom Donnie wants to tax him extra. And so what this dude says, and he's part of Citadel. He's a big deal. And Citadel was planning on spending $6 billion on a project to expand their New York area. That $6 billion project would have produced roughly 6,000 construction jobs and more than 15,000 permanent jobs. That might be halted now. That's a huge loss to New York. And a huge call out to all of the deep blue cities, the heavy deep state cities. Businesses will only tolerate so much. And if you are failing as a city, New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Portland, right? Like, the list is reasonably long, but not impossibly so. We still have a chance of turning back somewhat from this. Like I said, I think a few cities might burn, but how badly? We'll see. We'll see. Pretty cool. I like the fact that people are going hard. Feds undercover DC area international car theft ring. They've shut this down. Piro's involved with this, though, not anyone from normal DC's police or anything. But yes, the 15-count federal indictment was unsealed. U.S. District Courts for the District of Columbia, charging the defendants with conspiracy to steal at least 20 vehicles in the Washington metropolitan area in Pennsylvania. Easily one of my favorite movies is Gone in 60 Seconds. I love that movie. Some of you, Nicolas Cage is a like or hate kind of guy, but man, oh man, that's a good movie. I love that movie. And it's Long Beach, so it's just up the road. Gavin Newsom. Yeah, so he's another thing that we just love him for. Again, these people are going to be... They don't have time to really replace them. I don't know who they're going to replace them with. This is a thing. They're trying desperately to help push these people up. Newsom, like in this example, or maybe Harris or whatever. And they need to start seriously fundraising and doing stuff here soon. Not too long, but what's going to also affect that is kind of the people running right now, though, for the midterms. It sort of matters who's going to be leading the party or potentially leading the party when you start spouting off all the stupid stuff you're going to say, because if it's going to be a more moderate version of a Democrat like a Stephen Smith, then you're going to have to be a little more moderate in your crazy rhetoric. But I don't think any of them will. I don't think they will. I don't think they can help it. I think these people are hardcore communists, interestingly. So Gavin Newsom funded a left-wing NGO that specializes in bringing in undocumented migrants living with HIV, literally importing people that have no abilities to pay per se at all, and they're sick with a very transmittable disease. That's awesome. And they're part of a group that, seems to be heavily infected. And they just want to import them into California. Probably because they want to put them in the weird studies, by the way. I'm going to be honest. There's some crazy I bet they're doing some way experimental stuff on humans. And so a lot of these people that lose their shit and go shoot up a school, I'm very curious if they're on experimental doses or different meds. I think there's a lot of weird stuff going on, not to mention MK Ultra. Just factor all that in. Here's a chick that's obviously not using a MyPillow towel, which mypillow.com/OTF. If she were, her hair would dry by the time this literally 1 minute video was over. But I'm going to let her say this nonsense, even though this is, I don't know why she's doing the thing with the towel. Whatever. I just want to do a quick video while my hair's drying.
Just to give you all an idea of how Los Angeles is nowadays, I was driving into Brentwood. That is a very, very, very beautiful bougie area, or was. I was picking up a Facebook Marketplace purchase, and I'm driving along on Wilshire, I think it was, which is like a nice street. And I literally see a homeless lady throw a traffic cone at another homeless lady. That lady takes out this giant, like 8-inch shank, or it was like a saw, I don't even know, rusty as hell, and chases the other lady with it. So I'm like, oh my God. So I call 911 and I'm like, gonna tell them about the incident so they could just like put a stop to it. Call doesn't go through. The line was busy. And this is not the first time this has happened to me in LA. So that's LA today, by the way.
And just first off, the fact that you're calling the cops and all these random weird people is very strange. And then second off, I could imagine as a cop being like, what, so a homeless guy is going to kill a homeless guy? All right. Let us know once somebody's dead, and then we'll send, just let us know once somebody's dead. We've got a bet going on over here. So like, we're not like all that smart out here in California. So like, oh my God, sometimes we just say stupid things. Anyway, like, like totally. Fucking Californians. Says the Californian. Just 48 hours, 75 fire hydrants in Detroit have been destroyed. Just 48 hours. They just fixed them all, like what California wants to do in LA. We want to charge you guys extra money to fix the lights, and then they'll immediately get stolen again, and then we're going to charge you more money so we can fix the lights. You guys get it, right? We just want to do this forever. Makes lots of sense. Anybody that's playing along at home, got the home version of the game, you're just like, oh yeah, no, makes sense why we're doing this. No, it doesn't. The fudge. So yeah, they literally have gone to places that will recycle the parts and said, hey, can you guys stop taking these because it's costing us a lot of money. Which just means these people, if they're going to do it, they'll just fill up a truck full of them and then drive it across the state line and do it elsewhere. Yeah. Anyway, this is the part of the problem when you bring in a bunch of people that, one, aren't making any money and have a lot of free time on their hands and are already given free money and don't give a crap about this community. They don't have a house. They don't live someplace that's paying property taxes. They're not part of the community. They're not like me where if I see trash out in front of my house, I pick it up because I don't want trash out in front of my house in my neighborhood. Or we don't have much here, but there's one neighbor down the street. He's had a rag on his sidewalk for like 4 weeks now. It's okay, though. It's okay. Hey. Trump DOJ moves to revoke citizenship of hundreds of naturalized immigrants. Yeah, if you're naturalized, great, groovy. But if you're doing crime and stuff, We're probably going to boot your punk ass out. So that's coming. Texas Governor Abbott reaches agreement with Houston officials on working with ICE. Apparently, he's they probably put a little fear of God into him, I'm assuming. But yeah, Houston seems to be having a giant problem. They've been having a lot of the street takeover stuff. That's certainly where S. Jones is from. I know that's her neck of the woods, too. A lot of crazy ass going on over there. So hopefully it's getting better. Lexington woman charged in chilling plot to massacre worshipers at a Texas synagogue. Where's this one? She came from North Carolina to bring her hate. And Jewish worshipers specifically. She seems Hispanic-ish. I don't know. She doesn't have that Middle Eastern look to her. She looks more, Latin American or, Latina, they might say. But that chick with those eyes, those evil eyes, I don't know. I'd be afraid to say anything to her. With that accent especially. She'd probably could punch me just for talking like her. Or Scarface. I'm not sure who the hell I'm doing there. Anyway, Donald Trump posted this. It was my great honor to meet with the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bassface. Gasface is what the song should be. But anyways, 5th District Supervisor Catherine Barger, Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors was there also, and the Supervisor's Chief of Staff, Anna Moradian, there you go, to discuss the progress made on the horrific fires that ravaged Los Angeles and the surrounding areas since my strong action, yada, yada. Anyway, long story short, he's taking care of the permitting stuff. Now they're going after the banks that have been making it difficult. He specifically calls out Wells Fargo. So Wells Fargo, big giant middle finger. That's what we all think of you in the big picture. I have no affiliation with them, thank God, right now. I have before. So anyway, I agree with that, and I hope they can find something to go after. All right, not like he was my friend. I had a number of people that sent their condolences, and I appreciate that, by the way. It was very sweet of you. But no, I wasn't close to David. He's just someone I've followed for, I don't know, prior to 2000. I've been following David for a long time. And he certainly inspired me, I think, in a lot of ways, certainly with Law of One. I've certainly read a number of his books. Sourcefield work he did was epic work. I mean, he is kind of one of the greats in the spiritual world. He definitely was struggling a lot towards the end. People that knew him saw it. People that had been following him for a long time saw it. There was just this change about him. There was a lot of weirdness that he started to put in. You could see someone struggling with concepts, and I've heard a lot of people say like a lot of strange things too, like someone that's crazy or hearing voices or whatever. Why would they call the cops and then off themselves? First off, when people suicide themselves, that happens frequently, where you'll want someone there kind of to, otherwise no one will ever know, right? So sometimes it's a way of making sure your body's found. It sounds stupid, but there's some truth to it. But he also, there was discussions that he maybe had some paranoia problems also, and so could very well have been under the assumption that something was going on inside the house and they couldn't verify or do anything, and he kind of did something radical. So there could have been a little of that mixed in. And then we also find that he was in huge financial woes. He was having a very hard time. And from the ego aspect of himself, and this is one of the things I've highly warn any of you guys, if you're going to get into any of the light working stuff, and I mean this with total sincerity and absolute, like, it's the difference. And this is one of the people that exemplified it for me, or what not to do, by the way, is the ego. The ego will destroy you. The ego will be your downfall. The part of you that thinks you are different or better than others that's your ego. We're all the same. Every single one of us. We're the same. No differences. Just because I've maybe read a book that you didn't read, that doesn't make us different in any way, shape, or form. And so I think a lot of people that, like, healing's a great example. I've met a lot of healers in my life. I've known many, 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 many throughout the many, many years of this crap I've been involved with. And it's the ones that think they are the healer that are the scary ones. Because they aren't the healer. The healing comes through you. You are a conduit. You are not the healer. And a lot of people don't get that. So again, be careful. Ego is the thing, and that's when he was running out of money and realized he was going to be ruined, essentially. The embarrassment on his career, too. His career was already hurting. He left Gaia. I mean, again, I don't want to overstep what I did yesterday. It was enough, but Corey Goode was such a bad influence on this dude. Such a bad influence. And ruined him. And I will say I was involved with one of the families back in the day. And they, did manage to ruin my life, too. So I've been through a micro version of this, and it was awesome because it actually helped me navigate today. And this is why, to a large extent, I have stayed away from a lot of other people that are out there. I've got, like I said, my one good buddy, and I trust him, and we've had conversations, and I think I understand what he's doing, and so that's okay. But I've intentionally kind of stayed out of the circles, and for good reason. And I only wonder what would have happened to. We were talking about Kirsten yesterday. I wonder what she would have chosen at this time too, and how things would have worked out. Anyway, it could have been a very different world. So it's all strange how life plays out, but there seems to be an intelligent hand leading, I think, all of us. West Palm Beach, they raided James O'Keefe's house because of his the people that kicked him out of his initial company. I'm drawing a blank on what they were called, but yeah, the initial company that he was a part of. It was the guy that kicked him out of that served this search warrant, Matthew Tyrmand, however you say his name. He's made threats against O'Keefe, and so anyway, he actually sent this concern to the police. So of course the stupid West Palm Beach police are like, well, all right, we'll run in, or the mayor or whoever decided to sign off on this. Almost immediately after, a judge overturns it and basically tells James, hey, you can come pick up your firearms. They're down here at the police station. Judges overturned this. So strangeness in that regard. Got some stuff here from Mr. President Trump. He's talking about the U.S. may buy Spirit Air. I think this is interesting. So I guess for those of you that are martial artists, your preferred airline is possibly still going to be available.
Is the government going to buy a stake in Spirit Airlines?
So Spirit is an airline that's had some trouble. They were going to merge with People Express, or one of them, a number of years ago, and Barack Hussein Obama decided it was a bad idea. How did that work out? It's bad for both of them. That would have been a natural merger. Not United and American, but Spirit and the other. We're looking at helping them. We have 18,000 people that live in this country that are great people and great employees. We're thinking about doing it, helping them out, and meaning bailing them out or buying it. I think we just buy it. We'd be getting it virtually debt-free. They have some good aircraft, they have good assets, and when the price of oil goes down, we'll sell it for a profit. I'd love to be able to save those jobs. I'd love to be able to save an airline. I like having a lot of airlines, so it's competitive. So we are looking at Spirit. It's in a bankruptcy. It's in bankruptcy court, and we're looking if we could get it for the right price. I'd do it to save the jobs, and we have somebody that wants to run it, do a good job, smart person. And if they run it properly, and if prices come down, all of a sudden it's a valuable asset. And they have some very good slots too, which are pretty valuable.
So that's the businessman right there talking. That's the Trump that's like, dude, this is a friggin' giant. This, like, if anyone's got the capital to buy this, you're an idiot if you don't. Now, you need someone to run it. Trump's like, I got that. I got that covered. But yeah, it's a brilliant idea. We would, as a country, just make money on the deal. A lot of people would criticize it, be like, oh, he's buying businesses now, controlling them. Yeah, he'd have a 90% control of it. Eventually, we'd sell it, I hope. If not, we're totally going down that. What's the other side of what they always accuse us of being? I'm trying to blank on the word. But anyway, yeah, where businesses are owned by the government, kind of are controlled by. It's all said. Howard Lutnick talking about how he's honored to be part of this, and this has to do with Trump getting the Trump RX, getting drug prices down. A huge difference on that drug for the fat loss, Ozempic, or whatever that one is. One of them's like used to be $1,300. Now it's like $199 or $100. I don't know. It's a lot cheaper, way cheaper than it was. Like 10% of what it once was.
In partnership with Bobby Kennedy and Memonaz and the whole team, when they do Most Favored Nation, we also ask the company to reshore and build their drugs here in America, because too many of our drugs, our key drugs for our health, are being made overseas. And in a conflict, we can't rely upon them. And I am honored to say that our partners from Regeneron have agreed to reshore their production of pharmaceutical drugs, and this is exactly from your pharmaceutical tariffs. That's the point. So that means $448 billion of drug manufacturing is coming to America because of your tariffs, because of your pharmaceutical strategy. And we are proud to invite Regeneron to do this giant build in America, and all the rest of the pharmaceutical companies. They've committed to build in America because of your tariff policy and your strategy.
Was that the company that made the drug that they'd put you on with the incubator and then kill you with COVID? Wasn't that? I guess you can... Canada's probably going to love that drug, the way they like to kill their own people. The U.S. military, they're running a Bitcoin node. This is kind of interesting. The way he states it's kind of interesting. His use of a microphone is very unfortunate. But this will just be the way it is. But this points to way larger things. Maybe we'll see what I say after.
Admiral Paparo, yesterday you testified that Bitcoin held potential as a tool for national security. Recent research from the Bitcoin Policy Institute estimates China has approximately 194,000 Bitcoins, while the United States has approximately 328,000 Bitcoins. In this era of digital competition, would it be to our strategic advantage to maintain a lead in this regard as we do with other strategic resources like gold and oil?
Sir, our interest in Bitcoin is as a tool of cryptography, a blockchain, and reusable proof of work as an additional tool to secure networks and to project power. And so I think this protocol is here to stay. I think the computer science of it has direct implications for the projection of power, not financial, but from a computer science standpoint, from the securing of networks. And so I am supportive of those applications. All instruments of national power are important, but from the military application standpoint, my interest in Bitcoin is as a computer science tool as projection of power.
I appreciate that. I agree with you. And I'd also like to hear your thoughts on monetary competition over the coming decades. What role does Bitcoin play in spreading digital property rights?
Well, people use Bitcoin today, right now, to protect their own intellectual property. And that's the reusable proof of work protocol that's combined with blockchain for accountability and cryptography for security. And so that's the role that I see for it. I see direct national security implications, and then I'm supportive for anything that maintains our own dollar dominance worldwide.
I appreciate that. Do you think we're adequately prepared to counter China's strategic direction regarding digital assets?
I think that our recent act with the Genius Act is a great step forward that moves us in that direction.
And lastly, I'll ask you, as we continue to craft the NDAA, what authorities and resources does INDOPACOM need to address as respects the national security dimensions of digital assets?
Presently, we're in experimentation, so I'll give you a deeper look into that. Presently, we have a node on the Bitcoin network right now. We're not mining Bitcoin. We're using it to monitor, and we're doing a number of operational tests to secure and protect networks using the Bitcoin protocol.
I appreciate that, Admiral. Thank you. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
A stupid question to any of the peeps out there that are military. And this is no disrespect at all. It was Admiral Paparo, or Paparo probably, but I like the Papa part. But why has he got only like little 4 things there? Normally, don't they usually have like a friggin' thing of them, like a gag of them, a grip of them, a gaggle of them? I don't know what the hell you call it. You got a grip when you're a well-decorated individual. I mean, he's an admiral. Shouldn't he have a few more? Look at this guy. He's got over here. He's got the entire fucking checkerboard over there. Look at this guy over here. He's got all these medals and shit. Holy crap. What the hell? Anyway, I was just curious. That's, again, no disrespect to him. But yeah, they've got a bunch of Bitcoin. I almost got to give it some stability. I wonder if that kind of helps set the base price, because everybody else could sell it. But if China and America held on to theirs, like that would at least kind of help hold out a base floor price. Tether freezes $344 million of U.S. What was it, DT? The digital tokens? U.S. digital tokens? I guess. Anyway, the U.S., they froze them. I'm just telling you, this is one of the many things I don't like about crypto. Crypto is this type of stuff. This is totally possible. The fact that it's complete, like everything you do is saved forever. Like forever. Ugh. I don't like that at all. DOJ recovers $700 million from Chinese crypto scammers. It's a lot of money, right? So they're hopefully trying to give this back to the people that got scammed. It's good stuff. So again, these are people, I think, in other countries. I don't know how they prosecute them, or if they're able to get like South Korea to send them back to us. I think in some cases that might be true. If they're North Korea, I know there's no chance. Apparently this aluminum shortage that's happening is causing a lot of concern or consternation, even both. And a lot of people are wondering what's going to be happening. They are calling this a black swan event, though it's unlikely source of that. I'm curious. I don't know if this is trying to push people towards China because of it's a weird spin. But anyways, needless to say, the world is kind of tripping a little bit on the aluminum markets. And so we'll see what eventually happens. Again, oil is down a little today, which the deals are being worked at. We understand right now the Ayatollah guy, the son, is supposedly got to get a prosthetic leg now, and he's got to have a bunch of plastic surgery because he's so heavily effed up from what happened. I don't know if they're like, so does he want to keep living or what? Anyway, silver, gold up teeny bit. Everything's basically flat. Crypto's up. It's been sitting pretty high this whole week. That's for damn sure. This is the highest I've seen crypto in a long time. Bitcoin, I should say. I call that crypto, but maybe. XRP's up half a penny. Yay. Wow. Man, that's why I feel so wealthy this morning when I woke up. I was like, oh shit, I'm up half a penny per share, per XRP I have. So that's, that's a couple bucks. Maybe. We got a crazy world going on, guys. And if you've got a 401k or IRA, I think it's just an issue of time before we see the hiccup. The hiccup's going to be more worldwide. Trump's protecting us. Hopefully we're going to fare better on it, but I don't know. We'll see. The deep state companies have to come down, and the Federal Reserve note's going to inflate itself into some sort of place of replacement, I think, too. So all that said, there's a way to protect your wealth while we're going through this very uncertain times. Gold and silver does exactly that and always has. Great company, Goldco, can help you do that. They've got a lot of suppliers. They've got the best customer service I've ever dealt with. They're just awesome people. They're fun as heck to talk to. I love them. And they've got some sweet deals. One, they can help you do this tax-free, penalty-free. Again, 401k, IRA, it's pre-tax money. You move it over. If you touch it in any way, shape, or form, you're going to get taxed and penalized, all right? So if that's something you want to do, I would consider doing that differently. This is not the way to do it, right? If you want to cash out your 401k, then cash out your 401k, but don't do it through Goldco. That's a stupid idea. This is if you want to protect your 401k and move it tax-free, penalty-free into a precious metals IRA where you can continue to donate to it. You can come and pay out from it if you want later when you retire. But it's still pre-tax money. It's awesome. And you're turning it into precious metals. They're going to give you up to 10% free silver on top of that. Free silver on top of up to 10%. So if you move $100,000 over, they're going to give you $10,000 in free silver. The silver is the one with the multiplier kind of baked in. Right now it's sitting at, 72 or something like that? Yeah, they're saying by the end of the year, 280, because mining is not going to happen in the United States unless. Which means there's still some crazy stuff that's coming. What could that be? There's not a lot left. I would say Taiwan's got to be one of the last big things that's going to freak out the world markets, the oil markets, and everything else. So maybe that's the one. We'll see. We'll see what the true black swan, if there is, will show itself at some point. This is just a way to protect yourself. I've certainly put a little protection into precious metals, and I think it's a good idea. So if you got some 401k, you don't have to move it all or nothing. It's not like that. You can move part of it. You can move a little of it. You can move a lot of it. You can do whatever you'd like. That's what's awesome about this product. It's a way to keep money that's still pre-tax in precious metals as protection. Go to drslikesgold.com. 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 Get out of that system before that system gets out of you. Supreme Court's going to decide whether Colorado can deny funding for Catholic preschools. This has to do with really the DEI stuff and transgender-y stuff and all that. And California doesn't want to give them money because they're not playing the game the way they're supposed to. It's kind of like what the Department of Education is doing here from the federal court standpoint. So it's interesting. I don't know. It's a very interesting case. I think ultimately, I think Colorado's probably got the right to do this and keep the funding away from the Catholic Church or Catholic school district or Catholic whatever it is. So, yeah, well, we'll find out. We'll find out. Catholic preschools. We'll find out. Donald Trump. List examples of his Trump RX successes. Probably should have had that other story here, but meh.
I want to thank Regeneron and other companies for doing their part to bring down the cost of health care for all Americans under our most favored nations agreement. We've secured gigantic discounts with price differences from 4 to 5 and even 600%. 600%. One of the most popular weight loss drugs has gone from $1,350 a month to as low as $199 a month. So that's a price that's incredible. So it used to sell in London for $87, and they raised it to $199, which is a big raise if you know, from 87 to 199. But that's been going on. Our country's been being ripped off for 30 years. How long would you say, Doug? Like 30, 40 years? Yep. For years with drugs and drug prices. So they're going up. We're going way down. And because the world is a bigger place than we are, believe it or not, it's hard to believe that, but they are, that we go down much more than they go up. So they don't go up as much as people would have thought. So they're going from, they're going to 199, and we're going down all the way down. Think of that. We're going down from $1,350 a month to $199. That's, nobody would believe it. And this is true with all. I mean, this is the weight loss drug. But this is true with all drugs. Sometimes even more of a difference than that, sometimes a little bit less, but sometimes substantially more than even that difference, and you see what that is. So we cut the per cycle cost of IVF drugs by thousands of dollars, and we reduced the price of the major COPD medication from $458 to $50. What? That must be a typo. Is that a typo? From $458 to $50. If your boy was here, he'd go, wow. He laughed. He got bored. I think he got a little bored. He wants to go into bigger and better things, but there's nothing bigger or better than this. They'll all be available right now at trumprx.gov. So it's, you know, that's why it's doing well. It's not doing well for other reasons. It's doing well. Think of that. That's some discount. But we have others. And these are all top companies and top medications. And I think in the end, we're going to have every company involved. We're almost there right now, but we're going to have every company involved. So Trump RX has already received more than 15 million visitors, and every American should log on to check for massive discounts before they go to the pharmacy. It's setting a record. Nobody's ever seen anything like this.
Yeah, so, and again, it was funny, one of the people's kids, I thought it was his grandkid maybe, but maybe not. But yeah, it was like rubbing his face all over the place. It was cute. He was just obviously being a child. Europe, they're betting that Newsom's going to reverse Trump's America. So they're all in on holding out as long as they can and going against Trump. And I think prior to the election ever happening, I think we are going to see a very strange world problem that's going to smash them in the face before they have a chance to get their person back into office. Again, we're going to control not control. I hate using that word because I know that's what the left is freaked out about. I mean, ultimately, but we're going to make sure elections are not cheated. That people that are legal, that are actual citizens, are the only people who get to cast ballots. They're the only people that get to vote, at least in federal elections. That's not fair. It's completely fair. Citizenship is your right to vote. That's one of the things that comes with citizenship. You don't want to be a citizen? You don't get to vote. And you don't get a free ID that we're going to put in the system so we can take advantage of it. No. Especially mail-in. And again, I think with the little bit of fear of God that's being placed into a lot of the people that are not legally here, it's like, you better not vote in the elections because I guarantee you that's illegal. And that's a reason to kick you out of the country. I don't care if you've been here for 30 years. Don't do it. It's not worth it. La migra. Oh, no. Trump threatens Britain with big tariff over London's bid to keep taxing American tech firms. He's like, look, if you're going to keep going after all of our tech companies for these stupid taxes that you've been doing since 2023 because Europe's broke, and other countries specifically, like everyone's trying to take a little bite off Google, a little bite off Tesla, or well, Tesla probably too, but they're not technology. Bite off of X, right? All these different Facebook. And Trump's like, no, you're not allowed to just tax our companies. That's stupid. Well, they're making money off our people. Yeah. You guys, you've got your access to information, which is what they don't like about it. They can't control it, so they want to charge them money for it then. Or both, all the above, control it and charge money for it. It's kind of messed up. Javier Milei, he's proposing total overhaul of Argentina's voting system. Taking a chainsaw to it would be my guess, right? Air Force, they're extending the use of the Iran attack plane, they're calling it now. How funny is that? The A-10 Warthog. Beautiful, beautiful, ugly aircraft. It is the most gorgeous of ugly aircraft ever. Everybody that knows anything about airplanes knows this plane is a beautiful sight to see. And when you get to hear that gun on the front, oh man, it's just, well, it's life-changing. It's cool to hear, and for whatever it's pointing at, it's life-changing for them. So they were going to retire him in 2026. They got 4 more years, which is interesting time frame, by the way. So we're expecting to use them for a little while longer, it seems. Mike Huckabee had a little message to the people of Israel, or I guess from the people of Israel, and the people of Israel are neighbors. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, yeah, talking about Lebanon and all this. So the peace, hopefully, that's being organized, even though I think Israel wants to continue to fight forever if they can. At least right now, Netanyahu, I'm sorry, not Israel, Netanyahu, and many probably want to fight. That needs to stop.
Mr. President, what an amazing opportunity to be here at a moment of history. The people of Lebanon, the people of Israel are neighbors, and they want to get along. They can get along. But it's like neighbors who have a rough little kid living in the neighborhood who keeps throwing rocks at everybody's window. And if the kid will quit throwing rocks, the neighbors can get along and start actually working together. The president has initiated something that is truly bringing the neighborhood back to a neighborhood, and recognizing that the problem is not Lebanon and the problem is not Israel. The problem is Hezbollah, the bad little kid throwing rocks. That's what the president is getting launched today, to get that little kid out of the neighborhood.
Or screw that little bastard, basically. That's what I'm hearing anyways. F that little mongrel. Kids gotta be raised, man. You can't just let them do, well, of course, Trump lets the kid smear his face in the carpets. I mean, whatever. I mean, there's a place where kids are kids, and then there's a place where they gotta grow up a little bit. President Trump giving more details on why Navy Secretary John Phelan was fired yesterday, so this should hopefully end most of the speculation.
Could you talk a little bit about why your Navy Secretary was fired yesterday, sir?
He's a wonderful guy. I just put out a statement about him. He's a very good man. I really liked him, but he had some conflict with, not necessarily Pete, with some other, he's a hard charger, and he had some conflicts with some other people, mostly as to building and buying new ships. I'm very aggressive in the new shipbuilding, and somehow he just didn't get along with them. He's an excellent guy. I think he would have gotten along great with me. I didn't really deal with him too much, but he's I consider him to have done a very good job. I put out a nice statement about him. You got to get along, especially in the military. You got to get along, and some people liked him, some people didn't, and that's usually the truth about everything. But I found him to be a very good man, and I liked him a lot.
Yeah. So that's why he's gone, which there was a story floating around. Reuters put it out, and I'm like, I don't know if it's true. I don't trust Reuters. But that's, in my opinion, one, that's a blemish on Reuters. But two, good on me. Good job. The 1% of the time, they're actually correct. I'll find the answer somewhere else, and I did. So I was like, all right, Reuters was actually right, and I'm not reporting it from them. I'm just acknowledging that's where first place I saw it. Australia, they got saved by us. We sent them some fuel. They haven't been real nice to us lately, but I think we're giving some love to the people for sure, because we realized the problem this would cause. So we are sending, or it should be arriving shortly, a reasonable chunk of fuel from us, like over 1 million barrels. So we sent around 240,000 metric tons of fuel product. Damn, that's a lot. I don't know what that works out to in barrels, but that's obviously a lot. Largest amount ever in the 30 years that we've been hanging out and putting shrimps on the Barbie with them, right? Running around. That's not a knife. This is a knife, right? That's where that shit happens. That was a national treasure. Love him. Oh, and the dude with the animals. He just jumped down. He's like, all right, this guy right here, this crocodile, he's sitting right here. He's got his face open right here. I can put my head in it. Oh, yeah. That dude was off. Steve Irwin, that dude was out of control. See, here's the most poisonous spider ever. It could kill you in 2 seconds. And it's just got his face right next to it. Yeah, and it can jump 42 feet. Dude, or meters. Yeah, whatever. Dude was crazy. Love that guy. Love that guy. Probably not the most appropriate place to do that, but man. Around, they're claiming they got their first toll money successfully. Their toll booth is apparently working. Again, I think people are going to spin this funny. Iran did charge tolls for a little while. If you guys remember, they got away with it for like, I don't know, a week or so. And so they got some passage. There were some ships that went through and paid tolls. I don't think anybody's paying tolls right now. If they are, it's not very many. And maybe that's deals with China and stuff like that. Who knows? Because they're the ones, Chinese ships, anything that's not U.S. or Israel is not necessarily allowed to pass. Anything that's U.S. or Israel is allowed to pass, or else we will annihilate them. And that's considered a break of the ceasefire. So again, and taking over their tankers and stuff at sea is not a break of the ceasefire. It's a totally separate thing. So they're kind of screwed on that one too. They keep trying to make noise about that, but you can't. Not the same thing. The terms of the ceasefire are very specific about the area that they're involved with, not outside of it. Iran claims Somalia is banning Israel ships from the Bab al-Mandab Strait. This is silly. Somalia? They can't even run their own country. I understand they got a bunch of like speedboats and shit. I get that. But what, they're going to stop a strait? I don't think they have a bunch of rockets, do they? These guys are nuts. This world is crazy. So anyway, I hope Ilhan Omar goes back and helps lead the revolution. That would be fantastic. Apparently, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, I'm not sure if you've heard of him, he revealed Friday that he was diagnosed with prostate cancer and has already completed treatments. Been a couple treatments that happened. I'm kind of wondering if that was the reason for the AI video. He was maybe out of commission for a couple days, but didn't want to look like it, you know? So I'm thinking that might have been kind of why that happened. Again, I don't know. I feel like I'm fighting the tide sometimes, you know what I mean? But yeah. Iran is on a deadline. This is the bottom line. And I think this is why Trump's letting some ships come in, because it's allowing them a little time. And I think that's what Trump's like, all right, you know, first off, he knows he's going to take the ships the second thing, or at least have control of the potentiality of keeping the money from them. Like we can always steal the ship in the middle of transit. Be like, you know what, you're going to take that back to Houston or, you know, whatever. And there you go. That's what's going to happen. So Iran has to do this, because if they cap their oil wells are toast. In fact, there's someone that actually kind of explains it. I don't think I have it open. It was very fascinating. Essentially, water leaks in, and it creates, there's a film, I'm trying to blank on the term, but there's a film that kind of gets created, and it basically just ends up clogging up all the pipes, and then water kind of seeps into the oil, and it ruins the oil, and it just ruins the well. The only way to keep the well going is to keep the pressure continuing outward like it is, in which case it seems to pull the oil only and keeps all the groundwater below the oil from getting into the oil. It's just some weird thing. I don't know. Again, Trump tried to explain it. He says, yeah, smarter people told him this is how it works, whatever the case is. So, again, when they shut the wells, it's bad. And it's not like they can just start pouring it out on the land because that creates all sorts of problems for them, right? So they can't do that either. So they've got to do something. And Trump is, that's why. Trump is dealing with that right now. Let's put it that way. He knows this. He knows they have that weakness. He knows there's nothing they can do about it. Time is on our side completely. They say 13 days. It's not like 20 million barrels they can store, and they're pumping out roughly 1.5 a day, period. So a forced shut, here it is. Forced shut breaks reservoir pressure balance, drive water and gas intrusion, and triggers paraffin buildup. That was it. That clogs tubing, and pores. The specific mechanism is called water coning. When production stops, water sitting below the oil pushes upward into the well, trapping oil and rock pores where it becomes difficult or impossible to extract. The result is a permanent loss of output. It ruins the well. They can't do it. Israel's waiting for a green light because they want to start fighting. Fight. We want to fight more. This is not supposed to be over yet, so they're waiting for the reason. And I feel like, I don't know, I had to play this because it was just a cool part of the movie. So long, but yeah, we'll make it work. And I'll probably get in trouble with YouTube. Sorry, YouTube people, you might not get to see this. But this is from The Rock. You're stuck between a rock and a hard case. Anyway, the part where I feel like Iran's the dudes that are like cock locked and ready to rock. Like they just constantly want to fight. They just don't want to stop fighting. And it made me think of that. And Hummel's like Trump, trying to do the right thing, trying to make this work. And these guys are just doucheholes in the background.
General, 2 operational rockets left. One's at the lower lighthouse and there is one on the roof, and both of the birds are ready to fly, sir. General, can you hear me?
I heard you, Captain.
Oh, just making sure.
Should we prepare for launch, General? I'll handle the strategy, Captain. Yes, sir.
The hour is approaching, sir. Just letting the general know of the time, sir.
I'm very aware of the time, Captain.
Aye, sir. Letting you know. Me and my boys are ready, cock locked and ready to rock.
3 minutes to go, sir.
They're not gonna call, Frank.
Well, they'll call. They'll call if we fire one of our rockets up their ass. Sir.
Hi, Frank. It's Al Kramer here. How's it going out there?
How do you think it's going?
As long as we're going to need another hour, Frank.
You've got 3 minutes.
Frank, we have to get final authorization from the president.
You've got 3 minutes.
Frank, please don't do anything stupid.
That's like, yeah, these guys are like, we're going to launch a missile up their ass. Anyway, that's enough of that. Israeli Air Force technician charged with spying for Iran. A lot of espionage going on. Selling out your own country. Man, that is, again, maybe, I don't know if these people were naturally born there or what, but that's just, I think there's a lot of people that would do it too. It just blows my mind because my mind doesn't work like that. I mean, again, I'm not one to sell out anything, but I'm loyal as hell. That's one of the problems. It's actually a huge problem. I don't handle like finding out someone's not worth my love because it's like, I've been loving you forever. Really? Oh, it's so frustrating. Donald Trump, and I don't mean that in a relationship standpoint, just like, like Tom Hanks is who always comes to mind, pisses me off. Donald Trump, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, and Ambassador to Lebanon, Michael Issa, met today with high-ranking representatives of Israel and Lebanon in the Oval Office. The meeting went very well. The United States is going to work with Lebanon in order to help it protect itself from Hezbollah. The ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon will be extended by 3 weeks. I look forward to a near future to hosting Prime Minister of Israel, Bibi Netanyahu, and the President of Lebanon, Joseph Aoun, and it was a great honor, yada, yada. Iran's supreme leader, prosthetic leg and plastic surgery. We talked about it. It's already old news already, folks. Air Force advances micro-reactor deployments at 3 different bases. So 3 different micro-reactors, it sounds like. This is us moving towards, I think, the new energy structures. A lot of these things are able to be transported by truck. So it really just comes down to how many of these can we produce? Can we speed up that production? But these things are pumping out a lot, actually. These, 1 megawatt? which is a pretty decent size amount of power to just put wherever you need it. We have one that's designed to put up about 5 megawatts. And this over here, this guy's anywhere from 100 kilowatt electric to about 1 megawatt electric, which is pretty significant. So again, these are able to be put on trucks or in a plane, or even maybe dangled beneath a helicopter if necessary. So this is allowing us to kind of deal with power in a different way, and I think it's kind of cool that we're doing that. And this was the final thing. I guess we'll close out with this. This is actually pretty cool. This is Donald Trump talking about the reflecting pool, and I love the fact that he's actually improving and enhancing the United States' just our land. What do they call it? The when people come to visit, right? The things that they want to see. These are famous things that have existed forever and have gone in disarray because our politicians steal from the money and don't actually use it to do what it should. And then they ask for more money because they need to fix the things that they should already have fixed, but they don't because they suck. So Trump talks about what he's doing to fix the pool, and it's funny is he saved us, rough math, I don't know, something to the effect of $298 million. They wanted $300 million. Trump found a way to do it for, I think, about 1.5. Maybe I'm not getting that exactly perfect, but close, I think. Dude's a builder. He's a rock star. And building a nation's what we're doing right now. We're not rebuilding, we're building. We never had it to begin with, ever. We've been England's little biatch for years. Deep state's owned us forever. We've just had this pretend thought that we were free. We never really were we? Taxes, property taxes, everything. Yeah, that's all changing. And we're doing it. Whoops. Without me on the screen, but we're doing it. So we're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing it together. I'm going to close out with this awesome Trump video. It's a little long, but it's kind of cool. It talks about it and the history a little bit and what he did and what he's going to do. And I think it's neat. And I think it's just the fact that we've got somebody that loves us and is taking care of this country. I love you guys. We're going to continue to fight the fight. Where we go one, we go all. It's On the Fringe with Dan RadioStyle.
I thought I'd bring up a subject of interest. I do a lot of this as president and try and save money. And one was the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool, which everybody knows. That's where Martin Luther King made his great speech and where others have likewise made great speeches and great events held there. It's very famous. It was built in 1922 and it's more than 2,000 feet long. It's 167 feet wide. It's very big. That's like taller than any skyscraper, 2,000 feet. And here's a picture of it. You probably recognize it. Right now it's got no water in it because it was in terrible shape. It was filthy dirty and it leaked like a sieve for many years. So I actually went with Secret Service and a group of people and I took a look at it. One of the people with me was Doug Burgum, our great Secretary of the Interior. This comes under his purview, and he said, yes, we've had a lot of problems with it. It's not working. It hasn't worked for many years, and it's always filthy dirty. And I said, well, we're going to solve the problem. And they had bids to fix it. They were going to take the stone out, which was granite, very expensive, very thick, and replace it with stone. And it was going to cost $300 million. And it was going to take maybe more than 3 years. And I said, no, there's a better way of doing it. I said, what we're going to do is I'm going to call all 3 of these people that have worked for me in the past doing swimming pools. That's all they can do is a swimming pool. And I said, give me a good price. We can do it for maybe $1.5 million to $2 million as opposed to $300 million. We scrubbed the surface of the existing granite that's been there since 1922. We then grouted all of the granite, fixed it up, took about 2 weeks, and now we have a nice clean surface on which we're putting a industrial grade swimming pool topping. And they said, what color would you like, sir? It's called American flag blue. I said, that's the color I want. I want American flag blue. It'll last for 40 or 50 years. There'll be no leaks. There'll be no anything. It'll look gorgeous, beautiful. So it's a story in business. And here's the difference, because somebody said, well, sir, but wouldn't it be a better job? I said, no. This is a much better job for much less money. It will look far more beautiful than it did in 1922 when they built it, much more beautiful. So we build it in much less time for much less money. But I don't mean much less. I mean numbers that nobody can even believe. So it's $1.5 million versus 300. It's 2 weeks versus more than 3 years. And that's just the way it is. Thank you for your attention to this matter.